Hi, I'm Doug, your tech support representative for Atlantic British, and in this video we're going to show you or actually introduce you to the windshield wiper kit that we make available in our Repair and Maintenance Academy program for your 1999 to 2002 P38 full-size Range Rover. Now the kit will include the rear and the two front wipers. The front wipers will have different adapters for different model vehicles, but on the P38 you'll be using the adapter that looks like so. You have a lock pin or attachment pin on the front wiper. And you're just simply going to drop that in, snap that in place, and then in a minute we're going to show you how to mount that on your vehicle. Now, just as a note, the wiper blade kit, which you can pull up on this downloadable copy off of our website, is kit 7501, and you'll see it includes the two front blades and a rear blade. This is recommended every 15,000 miles, and this is something that's generally neglected until you really need them. How many of you turned on your wipers on a rainy day and found out how bad they really were? Change them every 15,000 miles and you shouldn't have that problem. Now we're going to show you how to mount these on your vehicle. So now we're going to show you how to change the wiper blades on your P38. And again, this is a 99. The application should be the same for 1995 all the way up to 2002. Now, a lot of the original equipment design, this in particular is a sill blade, but even some of the original designs, what you'll need to do is take a small screwdriver, and there actually states open, where you've got to pop this upper cap off so that you're able to slide the wiper off. Once you pop that up, on the back side there's a very small tab. It looks similar to this, and you're going to lift that away so that the blade slides right off. Then you'll need to lift up and out so that this hook clears the blade. Now, I'm going to recommend this because I've seen it way too many times. Make sure you have a cover or something, so in case this gets out of your hand and slaps down, the metal bar is going to make contact with the windshield and create a very expensive crack. So we're going to take our replacement blade. We have our clip. Now you're going to make sure you grab the one that has a very small retainer tab sticking out, and that's going to lock in with a slot that's cut in the end of the wiper arm. You're going to pop this in place. Only one slot on there, so choice is easy. Listen for the click, and you know you're in good and solid. Run the blade in the wiper, curl the wiper around so that the adapter you just popped in locks into the bayonet, and then listen for the click. You're in good and solid, and lay your wiper down. Now you find in some areas, because of salt and whatnot, and many times the pivot on the arm will get stiff. In other words, you could put the blade here, let go, and it'll stay in place. If it does that, you should replace your wiper arms as well. You want to make sure that you've got a good even tension on these blades. You want to make sure they clean your windshield when you need it. Alright, so now we're going to show you how to install that rear wiper blade. Now on these, they have on the P38s, there is actually a cover over the top that's very difficult to remove. In one case, it's actually part of the tailgate. So easiest way to change these over is if you look at the upper area on this, we're going to lift that cap and give you access to the nut. So what you're going to do on the left side of the post, you're going to lift that plastic cover, and that covers over the nut that locks the arm down to the motor pivot. Then we're going to lift up a little bit on the right, and we're going to push forward. We can actually slide that cap to your left, exposing the nut. That's what your cap looks like. It's just a hard plastic protective cap, and what holds it in place is this rounded raised area that grabs the nut when you go to reinsert it. So I'm going to set that up top there. We're going to take a 13mm long wrench, open end, and essentially reach up and in and loosen the nut. We don't need to remove it, we just need to loosen it enough so that we can work this back and forth until we crack the arm loose. Then we can drop it straight down. So now's a good time to test the arm. Now the fact that it does this tells me we need a new arm. This should drop right back down and hold the wiper blade firmly against the glass. If I can raise it and it stays in place, even now it's a little, see, it's starting to free up, but you could apply some penetrating oil at this point and that would at least get you by for a while, but it's generally not a good fix. It won't last very long. So change your blade. We're going to lift up. We can bend this blade forward. There's a little tab just to the side, and we're going to lift, we're going to push down on that tab to release and push the blade back towards the vehicle, and that's going to unhook you. Raise it up. Now again, I should have a rag or something here covering this glass, because if this was a good arm, this could snap this back down right against the glass if it got out of my hand and crack it. So you want to put a rag, something sticky, just something over the top just to protect the glass. So essentially we're just going to reinstall this the same way. When you put this back together, only one side of this plastic attachment on the wiper blade has a lock tab. You'll see there isn't one on the other side. This tab needs to be down so that when you install it on the blade, it locks into the opening that's at the bottom of the wiper blade. That's what locks that in place and keeps the blade from coming off. So, and we raise back up, slide the arm through, hold up, and then pull forward. You'll feel it latch. Give it a little push in and out just to make sure that it grabbed and locked. Now when you go to tighten that nut back again, you can use a line. You usually see it on the back glass. You can see where your line was, where your blade originally sat, which we were right at here. And then we're just going to tighten the nut back down. It doesn't have to be super tight. In fact, you don't want it super tight, because part of the design is that at a certain point, heavy snow or whatever, if the blade gets stuck, it will break loose here instead of doing damage or burning out the rear wiper motor. And we just do a one finger, just snug it in good. We're on. We take our plastic cap. We start over from the left hand side. And we're going to slide it back over the top of the nut. Bring it all the way over. And that long skinny screwdriver you've seen me use works wonders on this. Now you just reach up over the top, pry down a little bit, and that locks the cap right in place. So now you've got your new wiper on. We've done the fronts. You're all set to go. Like I said, you want to do these about every 15,000 miles. Again, if you see the arms not moving freely, you want to replace the arms at the same time. So when you're ready for your wipers, just give a call to one of our knowledgeable salesmen at 1-800-533-2210.